Hey girl, hey, it's Nita and welcome to another episode of Vlogmas. In today's video, we are doing a very casual Q&A / girl chat video. I asked you guys over in the community tab as well as in stories on Facebook if you wanted a girl chat or a Q&A, and you guys submitted quite a few questions, so we're doing a Q&A. Like I said, I'm keeping it very casual because that's just how I feel today, y'all. I didn't put on any makeup all day, and I honestly did not feel like putting on makeup to come do a video, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put on my comfy little PJs, grab me a glass of rosé, and have, you know, a little girl chat / Q&A with you guys. So that's what we're doing today. Grab you a glass of wine, water, coffee, tea, whatever, girl, and let's get into today's Q&A. All right, babe, so I have my rosé, and then I do have my computer here because I have the questions here because I'm using my phone to control the camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so there were a ton of questions about content creating, so I think I am going to start there and kind of move into some of the other questions. So first question, do you have a 9-to-5? If not, when did you realize you were ready to be a full-time influencer / entrepreneur? So I have always been an entrepreneur. Before doing this job full-time, I do this full-time, and I started doing this full-time in January of this year of 2022. Previous to this, I did hair and makeup full-time. I was a full-time hairstylist and makeup artist for 10 years previous to doing this job. So I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 11 years. So that part, I'm not new to entrepreneurship. I just changed lanes. So I don't have a 9-to-5. When did I realize I was ready to be a full-time influencer? Once I had my daughter is 5. If you guys don't know, I have a daughter. She's 5, going on 6 actually. And when I had her, I knew that I did not want to do hair anymore full time, just because of the industry and just how much you work, the time frame. And I knew just the amount of work that I did as a hairstylist, the hours that I worked and everything. I didn't feel like that was sustainable for the type of mother that I wanted to be. I knew that I wanted to be active and present. And I'm not saying that as a hairstylist you can't. I'm just saying for me, I just didn't want to do it. I felt like it wasn't conducive to the life that I wanted to live and the type of mother that I wanted to be personally. So in addition to the fact that I was just kind of over the industry. So that's what prompted me to start looking for different things to do. I actually heavily considered going back to finish my degree. I was going to school for accounting before I left to go to beauty school. But like I said, this was what, like 12, 13 years ago now. So very long time ago, honey. But yeah, so I knew I wanted to do something different. I started creating content during the pandemic. So in 2020, I started creating content then, and it kind of took on a life of its own. So long story short, when I started making money from influencing and hearing God leading me, and then also knowing and seeing that I could make money in this industry. So, but I did do a video on my influencer journey. It's pretty old, but I'll link it here. I think I did it more so towards the beginning of the year when I started going full time. So I'll link that in the cards in the description box down below, and that'll give you a full-on breakdown of my journey. Next question is, has being an influencer or being in the public eye made it harder to establish authentic and genuine relationships and date? Yes. As far as genuine relationships, like friendships and stuff, if I'm honest, I really don't necessarily go out seeking friendships and stuff at this point in my life. Number one, because people can be kind of weird when it comes to like influencer. Like some people, you know, just, you know, people can be a little weird, and people can kind of want to attach themselves to you because of who they perceive you to be. And so I'm just very cautious of that. I always pray for discernment when it comes to new people entering my life or attempting to enter in my life. But even outside of being an influencer, just by my nature, I'm a very closed off person. I don't know if that comes off on camera or not. I think you guys think that I'm more open than I actually am. I'm really not. So yeah, I'm a very guarded person in general, especially when it comes to like friendships and dating and stuff. I'm not that person who just lashes on to any and everybody. No, it takes me a minute to warm up to people. And on top of that, it takes me a minute to really say like, you know what, I like you, like you can be my friend. Because I'm a person that when I love you, I love hard. It takes me a minute to get to the point of the fact that I do love you and I care about you, but once I'm there, I am there, you know? And so so yeah, I think I still have that in me, so I'm not a person who latches on to people quickly. Also, like I said, I just do my best to use my wisdom and discernment, and I'm not a person who just easily lets people in. That's just not my nature, period, whether I'm an influencer or not. So it has made it harder, but I'm just a guarded person in general, and I think in this industry that has helped me. Now when it comes to dating, it makes it harder simply because a lot of guys, like if they follow me on social media, which thankfully if I meet a guy and they don't like most men don't follow me, I don't really attract men on my socials, I attract women. However, if I meet a guy out and about or whatever, I don't tell them that I do social media for a living. If I'm honest, I tell them that I still do hair, just because I don't want to. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that later. That's just the honest to goodness truth. So I don't really tell men that I do social media. I may tell them here and there, or like I know this one guy I was dating, his sister, like he showed his sister a picture of me. She was like, I follow her, and then it was like, you didn't tell me you did social media. So it's kind of like, dang, you know. So yeah, it's made it harder in dating because a lot of times once men find out that I do social media, if they come across my page or my YouTube or whatever, they automatically have this preconceived notion of who they think I am instead of getting to know me. Like for me, like watching my YouTube videos or seeing me online, you get to know a piece of who I am, but that's not all that I am. And like I said, I think a lot of men, like when they see you on social media, they have you pegged as this particular type of woman. So it can make it harder, but at the end of the day, I feel like if you don't have the maturity and sense to say, hey, let me get to know this person, because it's not like I'm on social media showing my behind or doing something crazy. Like, you know, if you don't have the what is the word that I'm looking for? If you don't have the unction, you know, to get to know me outside of what you see online, then it's like I'm not going to convince you otherwise. So it has kind of made it harder, but it just is what it is, honestly. Wait a minute. Was there ever a time where you questioned if being a content creator was your calling? Did you face any lack of support when you informed others of your career change? So I'm going to start with the question of, did I face any lack of support when I informed others of my career change? In all honesty, no. So I think because I had already been doing this for being an entrepreneur for so long, that didn't come as a surprise. I think it would have been more of a shock if I was to say I was going to go get a 9-to-5. I think everybody probably would have passed out. But the fact that I said I was going into being a content creator, nobody was surprised. I think it was kind of like, oh, okay, we kind of saw it coming. Like even my clients, before I announced that I was leaving the salon, a lot of them were kind of like, hey, we see you doing your thing on social media. Don't leave us. Don't forget about us. You still gonna do our hair? Like, like they were already asking. So I think it didn't come as a surprise. With that being said, I think that's why I didn't experience a lack of support, because I think people already saw it progressing. And then I think, again, I was already an entrepreneur. So it's not like I went from night to day or I went from A to Z. It's like I was already an entrepreneur. I just switched lanes. So no, and thankfully, just in general, I have a very supportive family and friend group. So I feel like if I told them I was gonna go to the moon, they would ask me, okay, so did you calculate how much it's gonna cost to get there? How long is the flight? Are you going by yourself? Who's going with you? Did you pack? You need anything? Like, that's the type of family and friends that I have. They literally pull up for me. My sister and one of my good friends, they used to come take pictures for me. Mind you, they are not photographers, honey. I was like, hey, can you come take pictures for me? Like my first big campaign, my sister actually took the pictures for me. Again, my sister doesn't even do social media. Y'all have never seen my sister because she don't do social media like that. She don't take pictures. She don't even have, she just got an iPhone. I say all of that to say my family is very supportive. My friends are very supportive and I appreciate them so much. So yeah, thankfully I did not experience a lack of support. My family and friends always pull up when I need them. And the first question was there ever a time when you questioned if being a content creator was your calling? Yes, but not because, like I said, for me, my content creator journey took off a lot faster than I anticipated, and it has just exceeded my expectations. But it's been more of what made me question it, if this was for me or if it's something that I wanted to do, rather, I'll say that, was when I first experienced like a large amount of like backlash and negativity. It was 2 different instances. One was one of my super exciting brand campaigns that I worked with. It was one of my first partnerships where they paid for usage, meaning they paid me to use my photos on their platforms, their website, etc., and they didn't have to like tag me or anything. They paid to use the content. And so apparently they paid to use it. I had no idea. They put it on one of their socials, and they reached out via email like, hey, you know, we love your content and everything like that, but pretty much they got some hate. And I say hate because they used the word hate in the email. And they were like, we received some hate comments, and we're just checking in to make sure you're okay, and we just want to know, like, do you want us to take the content down? Are you okay with it? We love the content, but we just want to check on your feelings and make sure you're okay. And I appreciated that, first of all, because they don't have to. They paid to use the content. They don't have to check on me at all whatsoever. But also, like I said, I wasn't privy to them using it on this platform because I'm not really on there like that. So when I heard hate, I'm thinking, oh, it's because I'm black. And it was like, no, it's because you're fat. So I go to the thing, and I see these comments, and it was so hurtful. It took me from being on a place of a high about, this is my second time working with this brand, so I was already excited that this is my second month that they wanted to work with me again. And I was excited because this is a brand that you don't really, especially at that time, you didn't see plus size influencers working with this brand. So again, you guys know that I always love sharing, you know, stores and places that you may not think is a plus size person that you can wear there. And I'm like, no girl, you actually can, right? I love that. So I was very excited to be like a representation, like, hey, as a plus size woman, you can shop in this store. And it took me from being on a high of this accomplishment and this exposure and working with this brand to being like, dang, you know, like, I really just feel like, and sometimes I still feel this way, it's like, no matter how good the content is, no matter how great the imagery is or whatever, people will always just see a fat black woman. They don't see anything else. It doesn't matter how great the outfit is, how beautiful the content is, how amazing the photo is, the reel, whatever. That's all they see. And so between that, and then I also experienced, I had a video go viral on TikTok. It was an Amazon haul. And mostly my Amazon hauls on TikTok always do well, but this particular one, it did well. However, there was like a lot of controversy, if you will, about the size that I was wearing, which I also get a lot of, not a lot, but I get comments often about like, oh, she's lying about her size. She's not wearing that size, you know, whatever the case may be. And it was a big deal with this particular TikTok video. So those 2 moments where I was just like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this. So like I said, I don't know if I necessarily questioned if it was my calling, but I definitely was like, is this something that I want to do? Because you get to a point where you realize that everybody's not going to like the content. That's okay. But when it gets to a point where, especially with that TikTok thing, it went from, you know, just a few comments trickling in to like, I literally would get dozens and dozens of comments every day for like 3 weeks. Every day for like 3 weeks, you get negativity, people telling you you're a liar and this and that to the third, especially when you know that you're not like, anyway, it was just very silly. It just made me question if it was something that I wanted to do. I don't know what, y'all, I don't know what the lighting is doing, so if it's like wonky, I sincerely apologize, but you know, we're gonna keep it moving. But yeah, it just made me question if this is something that I wanted to do, because I wanted to make sure I was strong enough to handle the, you know, backlash or negativity and stuff, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, it comes with the territory. And I feel like, especially being a black plus size influencer, not just plus size, black plus size, you know, influencer, there's always going to be some kind of negativity, like always. And that's something that I had to come to accept. And I had to really ask myself if this was something that I wanted to do, and if I was strong enough to handle that. So yeah, I've had those moments, and I really just had to, you know, just ask myself if it's something I can handle. So how did you get the courage to record your first video and actually upload it? If I'm honest, I wasn't really afraid to upload a video. It was more so just actually doing it and following through. I guess because, again, being a hairstylist, I literally talk to strangers every day. People I've never met every day in person. And it's like, if I can talk to strangers in person every day, like in my face, in my chair, I can talk to a camera. I don't know you. You don't know me. We don't see, you know, we see each other through the screen, but we're not physically in each other's presence. So yeah, that wasn't really a hurdle that I had. If anything, it was more so like, are people gonna like the content and stuff? But you know, in the very beginning, I always say I think that's the time when you really shouldn't care, because nobody's watching the content anyway. That gives you time to perfect your craft and to really kind of hone in and work on the lighting and the sound and all of that. Like, mess up right now while nobody's watching. And also just know that even if you're nervous, I understand. However, you have to jump over that first hurdle. I feel like once you go ahead and get it out there and get it out of the way, your jitters will be out of the way and you'll be able to do more. But you just have to take the leap and do that first one. If you need the courage to do it, what is your why? Why are you creating content? And I feel like if your why is strong enough, that will help you overcome the fear you have about creating content or uploading your videos. All right, so next question. What is the best and worst part of being an influencer, aka your own boss? Well, there's two different things. So the worst part about being your own boss in general for me is the fact that there's no PTO. Now, especially as a hairstylist, like I said, you know, when I went on maternity leave as a hairstylist, I didn't get PTO. I had to save my money and make do. If I got sick, if my daughter gets sick or whatever, there's no PTO. I can't just call in, especially now that I have people that I pay. Like, I have to work. I have to work because at the end of the day, you know, these people and their pay is depending on me as well. So that's that part. That's the worst part. But it's also the best part, because I honestly consider it a privilege to be able to pay people, because everybody needs a job. So I really feel blessed to be able to pay someone to do their job. So it's kind of a double whammy. But as far as the best and worst part about being an influencer, the best part to me is when you guys send me comments or DMs or whatever about how my content has helped you in whatever way, whether it's been inspirational, whether it's boosted your self-esteem, whether it's helped you to find a new way to wear something, because that's literally the reason why I do this. It's just to help, you know, it's all of my content. All right, you guys, sorry, Jada woke up and came in here, so had to get her back in bed and make sure she was all right. So I think I was talking about the best and worst part of being an influencer. So I think I said the best part is just the way that I'm able to help people. So the worst part about being an influencer is just, for me, the negativity, the trolls, that stuff is just, it can be a lot sometimes. And I think people, again, have that thing of, they feel like people online, like, you don't have a care in the world, you could never have a bad day, you just need to be grateful for everything. And it's just like, am I not human? I'm a human, right? I don't care what your job is or what people perceive, you know, your life to be. Like, I have a bad day just like everybody else. I have bad experiences just like everybody else. I can be grateful for my life and for my job or whatever and still have a bad day. That just means I'm a human. That doesn't make me ungrateful, or that doesn't make me, you know, whatever. And just because you have a following online or people perceive you to have an X, Y, and Z type of money or X, Y, and Z type of life, that does not exempt you from having bad days or experiencing hardships in life like everyone else. And so it will be that part. And like I said, just like the negative comments, people, again, they think people online have no feelings, or like we're not human beings and you can just say anything, and everything that you think does not need to be said or typed. And so that would be the worst part for me about being an influencer. How do you handle content creating and your family? So my family at home, you know, I'm not married or anything. It's me and my daughter. And so I pretty much, first of all, I've had to learn, for me, I don't think there's a such thing as balance. I think it just really depends on the season and the phase of life that I'm in. So currently it's holiday season, which is very busy for a content creator. So of course right now I may not be able to spend as much quality time with my daughter as I would like, right? But it's just a season. It won't be like this always. So I don't feel as guilty during this season because I already know it's coming. I do my best to make sure that I'm there for, like, if they have, you know, field trips at school, parties at school, plays, different things like that. Also, you guys know that just this past season, Jada was in drill team, so I was with her all the time. So I try to remember that different seasons are going to require different things of me. So like last season, I was definitely hands-on mom, all the things. This season, I may not be able to be as hands-on with every single thing. Like there was a field trip I couldn't make that her grandparents went to, or there are certain things at school that I can't make that, you know, her dad or someone else will be able to make, and that's okay. I can't be there for everything. I cannot do everything. and in those moments I just depend on my support system. But that's how I pretty much try to balance it. Also, I have a hard cut off of 3 o'clock. I pick Jada up from school after that, so whatever is not done by 3 o'clock, I have to do it the next day. Outside of in this season, like right now I'm filming this video at night, it's like 10 or 11 o'clock. Because of Vlogmas, I just have to do things outside of my work hours. I may also edit some videos at night and stuff, and if I do that, again, it's just like busy season or something that really has to get done. But I definitely try between the hours of 3 to she go to bed at 8:30. Those are my mommy hours. Everybody knows that. Don't ask me nothing about work. I'm not editing any videos during that time. I'm not filming any videos during that time. I'm not doing anything work related but spending time with my kid. I may post to stories or something, but as far as like creating and messaging management and stuff, I'm not doing any of that after Jada gets home from school until the time she goes to bed. So that's just like different. I guess I would just set different barriers of, you know, my mommy time, my me time, my work time, and I just try to, I guess, set different boundaries to protect the different times for the different things. But again, I've just had to learn that different seasons is going to look different. So like right now I don't necessarily have a lot of me time, but it is what it is. It's just a season. So I hope that answers the question. All right, so the next question is, being an influencer can be very lucrative. Do you see yourself changing as far as your content or with friends and family? Money can make people change sometimes for the worse. I don't wear makeup, but can you recommend something for under eye puffiness that's not makeup? I'm going to answer the first question about the under eye puffiness. I honestly have no idea what product can help you. I think a dermatologist or esthetician would be better able to answer that question. Also, if you're not already, I would highly recommend to check out Style and Beauty Doctor. She has a YouTube channel. She's on Instagram, and I'm sure she's probably on TikTok as well. She has very in-depth videos on skincare products of all types. I mean, she talks about Botox, fillers, you know, retinoids, all of the things. Very informative, very educational, and she knows her stuff. So definitely check out her channel. She probably would have something for that. And then I would also say to check out an esthetician or dermatologist. Girl, I have no idea. Now, as far as money changing things, the first thing you said that money can make people change sometimes for the worse. I disagree. I feel like money only amplifies whatever is already in you. If you're a giving person, if you get money, it's not going to make you stingy all of a sudden. It's only going to amplify your unwillingness to give, because now you have money to give, or you have more resources to give more things. If you're a mean or rude person, having money, now I'm going to be even more mean and rude because I don't need anybody, right? Or if I'm a sweet and nice person, I'm not going to all of a sudden get money and now I'm all of a sudden rude. So I personally feel like money only amplifies whatever you already are and whatever is already in you. So I don't think money changes people. Also, I think sometimes money can actually change people around you. Like, I think sometimes when you reach when you make a certain amount of money or you reach a certain level, it makes other people look at you differently. And I personally just think it's them projecting their own insecurities. I don't think it's necessarily that you have changed. I think it's just they look at you in a different light because they feel like you're on this level, right? So that's how I feel. I don't think money changes people. I think money just amplifies whatever's already in you. Now, the first question, you said, do I see myself changing as far as my content or with friends and family? I mean, of course not. I'm still going to be the same goofy, fun-loving Shanita, regardless as to how much money is in my pocket. I mean, I feel like if I haven't changed thus far, what would be any different? As far as my content changing, my content probably will change just as I grow as a woman, but it won't be because of money. Like, if anything, when it comes to money, it will make my content better because maybe I'm able to buy better equipment. I'm able to, you know, hire people to help. I'm able to buy better lighting. I'm able to maybe rent a studio or something like that. So money would definitely change the content, maybe as far as the quality is concerned, but as far as the subject matter of my content, if it changes, it's because I'm changing as a woman. I'm not going to be the same person that you found in 2020. I'm not going to be the same woman that I was 5 or 10 years ago. So the next 5 and 10 years, of course, my content is going to change because I'm changing. And so I think that that's just the natural progression of people in general. So there's that. And then as far as my friends and family, again, no. If anything, you know, just as far as my income has changed, just You know, I don't really share things that I do for my friends and family because I don't do things for them for social media. I do it genuinely because I love them. But one of my goals is to retire my mom, and I'm not able to retire her just yet, but money has helped me to be able to provide for my mom even more than I was already doing. I did do things for my mom even, you know, before I became an influencer, but with the change in income, I've been able to do more for her, and I love that. So for me, money has changed in the fact that I'm able to do more for those that I love. And again, I've always been a giver. Having money just allows me to be able to give more. So there's that. All right, so I think we got about 2 more content creator questions, and then I'm gonna get off of that because I don't want it to turn into like a content creator Q&A. Maybe I'll do that separately. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary, so I will definitely talk more in depth about that there. But I'm gonna answer these last 2 because a lot of people ask these same questions. The first one was about, like I said, a lot of people ask it in different ways, but it's about how do I recommend you become a content creator, or how do you get started and grow your following? The first answer is simply just to start. You don't have to apply for this job. There's no point of entry. Like, anybody can be a content creator. You don't have to have a degree. You don't have to have a marketing background. You don't have to have anything. Use your phone, open the window. If you have a ring light, great. If not, use some natural light and create your content. The biggest thing I would say is to start wherever you're going to be most consistent. Right now, honestly, I would say to start on TikTok. Because that's the best. Like, you can grow faster there than you can on any other platform. But if I'm honest, I would just say to start wherever you enjoy consuming content and where you think you would enjoy creating content. So prime example, we're on YouTube. I personally enjoy YouTube. However, YouTube is very time consuming. It is actually the most time consuming type of content to create. It's long form video, for one, meaning it's just like the amount of time it's longer. Also, the editing process, you have to create a thumbnail, you have to fill out the description box, you have to, you know, find the music and all that kind of stuff. YouTube is just very intricate. So I feel like, let's say, you know, you're a busy woman who just doesn't have a lot of time, I wouldn't say to start out with YouTube because it takes so much time. You probably would do better on TikTok or even Instagram creating reels. You can do quick 15-30-second reels, and in the time that it would take you to create 1 YouTube video, you can create 10 TikTok videos and be done with it. And on TikTok, you don't even need photos, like, because there's no you know, on Instagram there's a cover photo. On TikTok there's no cover photo. You don't need pictures. Post the video and go about your business. So I would just say, you know, just be practical, figure out what kind of time you can devote to doing it, and then I would just kind of go about it from there. If you have time for YouTube, absolutely do it. I think YouTube is probably the best for long-term growth because it's longer form video, and I like the fact that people can really get to know you on YouTube versus TikTok and Instagram is so quick that people don't really get to know your personality, your story, and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, but the best way to start is literally just to start. There's no blueprint. Everyone's journey is different, and you just have to start. Just literally start. Bite the bullet and start. And then the last content creation question, a lot of you guys asked where I see my business or my brand in the next, I saw 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, all the things. So if I'm honest with you guys, I really don't know. And I know that sounds bad to say, but it's very honest. When I say that my influencing career took off faster than I thought, I mean that for real. Like, and I think again, because I was a hairstylist before and it took me a couple of years to like build, I assumed that this would be the same way. I prepared for the worst, you know. I was prepared, you know, just to scrape by and, you know, figure, I don't know, I just didn't expect things to happen as fast as they did. And so the goals that I had, I've pretty much exceeded all of the goals that I set earlier this year. And so now I'm just like, okay, God, what's next? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm just asking God what's next, because I really couldn't have imagined for things to have happened the way that they have. God has really blown my mind, exceedingly abundantly above all I could ask or think, literally. Yeah, I'm in a place where honestly, you know, as the new year's approaching, I'm really just asking God, like, what we doing? I would love to be on TV at some point. Like I would love to do like a segment on like Good Morning America or something like that, on like a fashion or styling segment, or really honestly talking about confidence. Something that I do want to do, I have always, since I was a kid, I have a passion and a heart for helping women who have issues with confidence. And I've always, like I said, since I was like in elementary school, I wanted to have a nonprofit organization to help women with self-esteem issues. Which is why I do this job. I feel like it's fulfilling, you know, part of my my passion for that. That's why I did hair as well, because you know, hair, when you get your hair done, you feel good, that kind of thing. But yeah, I still definitely want to do that. I'm just not sure in what capacity. I don't know if I want a 501c3. I don't know if I want to, you know, maybe branch off and do another YouTube video dedicated to encouraging people in their confidence. I'm just not exactly sure the method, but I know at the end of the day, any and everything that I do is going to be encouraging women in their confidence. And I've recently figured out that it's not just physical confidence, confidence in life. In the beginning, I only thought of confidence like in our looks, but confidence in all areas of your life as a woman. So that's something that I'm very passionate about. And I know for sure that my content will kind of be a little bit more broad and not just fashion, which I think you guys have already seen that. So, all right, so now the influencer questions are out of the way, we can kind of get to some of the others. Now, I thought this was an interesting question. We just talked about 5 to 10 years as an influencer. Someone else asked, just in general, how do I envision the next 5 to 10 years of my life? So currently I'm 36, so 5 years I'll be 41, 10 years I'll be 46. In Jesus' name, I'm going to be married. Let's start there. I hope to be married, possibly another kid. That's a strong possibly, because I'm really good with the one that I have. But possibly another kid. I really hope to have a balanced life where I see success in all areas of my life and not just a few. All right, so the next question is, what do you love about your body and what do you dislike about your body? That's a little invasive, but I don't mind answering it. So I'll start with what I dislike about my body. Y'all should know this. I dislike my back rows. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. But what do I love about my body? Oh, let me see. What do I love? I would say my hips and my lips. Do that rhyme? Hips and lips? But can I say lips? Is that a part of my body? That's a part of my body. I don't know why when you said body, I thought from the neck down. But my hips and my lips. I don't know what that dance was about, but okay. Oh, this is a really good question. So it says, I have gained a lot of weight over the years. My question to you is how to grow confidence in your body. What I love about you is that you have confidence in your body and your clothes. You wear clothes to reflect that. Thank you. How to grow confidence in your body. So let me first start by saying that I think we should normalize the fact that over the years you're going to gain weight. Like, there's very few people that reach like their 40s or even 30s and you haven't gained a pound. Very few people. There are some. We all know some. I know actually two. I know 2 people who have not, like, they're still very thin. Now their bodies have changed, but they're still very thin people. Outside of those literal 2 people, most people throughout life gain weight. That's okay. So let's just start there. Give yourself grace and know that it's okay to gain weight in life. But you asked about how to grow confidence in your body. And in all honesty, the first thing I want to ask is, like, what other alternative is there? So right now you're not confident. Do you like that? How's that working out for you? Not really, right? So for me, I always think, well, what other option do I have? The other option that I have is to not like myself, to walk around looking and feeling frumpy and ugly. And nobody wants to feel that way. And that's not life. Like, you deserve to feel good about yourself today. Now, if you want to change your body, if you want to lose weight, weight can always be lost. Like, it's not like weight is permanent. That's definitely something you can change. There's a lot of things about our bodies and ourselves that we cannot change, but weight is absolutely something that can be changed. So, and I'm not saying that to press you to change your weight. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's something that you're not stuck with. So if you want to do something about it, you can absolutely do that. However, I highly encourage you to love the skin that you're in today. Tomorrow is not promised. Next week is not promised. Next year is not promised. You deserve to feel good and look good today, right? So how to gain confidence in your body, I would start by honestly looking at that body in the mirror naked, getting acquainted, and finding things that you love. And if you really look in the mirror and you find that you don't like anything, ask God to help you. I had to do that. And that's why I can tell you that, because I had to do that. There was a point in time I looked in the mirror and I literally didn't like a thing. I didn't like a thing, honey. I didn't like nothing. Okay? Not a thing. But I had to ask God to help me, because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that, you know, I wish I had something deeper to give you, but I don't. Like, I really was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now, one thing I can say about me is that, you know, I've always been plus size. As a kid, middle school, high school, college, all of that. I've always been a big girl. I'm not a person, now my weight has fluctuated, but I've never been thin. I've never been, you know, average size. Ever. The smallest I've ever been in life was, I think, a 12, and even then, like, I probably didn't even look like a 12. But there's that. So yeah, I just got to a point where I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I think also the fact that I just accepted the fact that I'm a plus size woman. Even, like I said, if I get down to the smallest weight that I've ever been, which is about 175 pounds, I was still a 12, and I was pushing I was still a thick 12. So it's just like, child, you know, this is just who I am. And I just had to accept that this is who I am, and just to learn to love myself for who I am, because tomorrow's not promised. And like I said, in any way that I've ever been, I've always dressed nice. I've always kept myself up nice, because that's just how I was raised. I think I was raised in a family full of women of all shapes and sizes, all colors, like all of us. And we're all fabulous and fly in our own right, because that's how we were raised. And it wasn't a thing of, you know, I was never made in my family to feel like, oh, because you're plus size, no, it was like, what are you wearing today? Is this what you're wearing? Not in a way of, oh, because you're plus size. We were all raised that way. Like, when you leave the house, you look presentable. When you leave the house, you look like you care about yourself. Are you going out in those wrinkled clothes? Well, you know, that doesn't fit. You should probably try this because it fits better. All of us. Even my sister grew up very thin. My sister ran track. My sister was very, like, had muscular toned legs and everything. We were raised literally the same. Nobody could walk out the house looking crazy. Just didn't matter what size you were. Like, okay, well, we're going to find you some plus size clothes and you're still going to look presentable. And I think maybe they just carried over. I've always carried myself in a way, even if I didn't feel a way about myself, I was never going to look that part. You wouldn't know that I was insecure about my body unless I told you. That's just the way that I was raised. The insecurity more so came from just, you know, when I went to school and boys and stuff like that. But I was just always raised to take care of myself, and I always abide by that philosophy. And I feel like, you know, it may take a little practice, but as you take the time to really spend time with your body and love on your body, accept your body for what it is today. And then also, if you've gained weight because of life, like let's say you've had a baby, or maybe you experience a kind of health concern or whatever, realize that that body took you through that. This body carried a baby. This body, you know, battled this illness, or this body has carried me through whatever the things that it's carried you through in life. Appreciate that. You know, like, just learn to love and appreciate your body. I really wish I had something deeper to give you. And maybe I'll add this to the confidence series and pray about it to give you something more. But that's really what I did. I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. This is the body that I have. I'm going to love it. I'm going to embrace it. And I'm finna show up and be cute. Because that's what I'm going to do anyway. And you have to have that mindset. This is what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to show up and I'm be cute, period. All right, so now we're getting into the dating questions. Y'all asked a lot of those. So this question says, I'm a plus size woman in my 50s and have always had a hard time dating. And now that I have relocated to a new city, what would you suggest as far as getting into the dating scene in my new town? Well, first of all, hey girl, hey, come on 50s. I love to see it. You said you've always had a hard time dating. I'm hoping that this is not because you're plus size. I'm hoping, but I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get on my soapbox with it on another portion. But you asked about dating in your new city. So the first thing I would do, if you're not open to online dating, because that would be the first thing, is to like try some online apps, but also check out meetup.com. It's a website where people literally meet up, and I think it was started from people that moved to a new city. But anyway, you go to meetup.com, you register, you put in your location, and you can put in your interests. And it doesn't have to be dating. That's just a good way to meet new people in general. Also, Bumble BFF, again, that's just to meet people in general. You know, Bumble is a dating site, but they have Bumble BFF, which is for people to make friends. And so you can like meet friends and go hang out and stuff like that. So I think just going to hang out more will open up the door for you to meet men outside of just like going on dating sites and things that are catered to dating. I think once you're just out kind of living your life and getting yourself out there more, and you're like outside, then men can see you because you're outside, right? Because I think sometimes if you move to a new location and you may be in a house more or whatever the case may be, then it's like, how are you going to meet anybody sitting in the house? Because even the mailman, the UPS man, the FedEx man, they knock on the door and leave your package. They're not even open, you know, asking you to open the door these days. So there's that. I think once you get out more, you'll have the opportunity to meet more men. But in addition to that, I will also say just to try dating apps. I think that will be great. And then also I've learned when I go out by myself to like and actually sit at the bar, even if you're not a drinker, you can go to the bar and have a meal. You can have a mocktail. You can have a dessert. Just go sit and be cute. And you can meet men that way. Another thing that I've learned, I forget what dating coach said this, but she was like, when you're out and you see, you know, a man, men in general, don't have to like him or not, just to practice it. She said, smile and wave. And I've learned that a lot of men, number one, they're caught off guard by that because they don't expect you to smile and wave. But it kind of feel like they kind of light up a little bit. And if it was somebody I feel like that's kind of on the fence about coming over to talk to you, they're definitely going to come over and talk once you smile and wave because they feel like you gave them an invitation. So I hope that helps. All right, so to piggyback off of that, there were a few other questions about plus size dating and talking about dating. And someone asked me about dating as a plus size woman, anytime that I'm asked about dating as a plus size woman, tips, advice, my experience, whatever, the first thing that I'll say is dating in general right now is hard. Unfortunately, because of the culture that we live in, society that we live in, social media and all of that, and these podcasts and all of that, I feel like they are pushing this agenda that, you know, if you are a woman who desires monogamy, you know, it may be a little bit difficult because that's not what society is pushing right now. They're pushing, you know, all of this other stuff. So it makes it a little bit harder if that is your desire, which of course that is my desire. So there's that. When it comes to dating as a plus size woman, I always say, and that's dating as a tall woman, dating as a black woman, dating as a white woman, dating as a woman with freckles, whatever. Go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Again, I've been plus size my entire life. This agenda that people want to push, like men don't like plus size women, or they're settling, or you got to take care of them and all that, that is BS and nonsense, girl. Don't believe the hype. Now, if you don't know a plus size woman who is in a loving relationship, I would highly encourage you to just, you know, kind of get outside of, you know, the circles that you're in, because there are definitely plus size women in healthy, successful relationships. But just like there are, you know, smaller women in healthy relationships. But also the thing that gets me, where people try to make it out like, oh, it's plus size women that experience these hardships in dating. Right now, thin women experience hardships in dating. There are smaller women, baddies on Instagram, these celebrities that are absolutely stunning and gorgeous. If they're getting cheated on, mistreated, beat, all of this kind of stuff, why do people want to make it out like it's just plus size women that have a hard time dating? When you lose weight, that's not going to all of a sudden make this magical man appear that's just going to treat you right. We all have friends who are, well, at least I know I have friends who are not plus size, who have been mistreated by a man. So I say all that to say, if I saw the fact that, oh, smaller women, thinner women, you know, regular size women are getting treated this way and plus size women are getting treated this way, if I saw that, then I could say, you know what, yeah, girl, it's about weight and it's just hard because we're bigger. If that was the case, if that was what I saw, then I could say, yeah. But we all know that's not the case. We see, I mean, celebrity after celebrity, Instagram person after Instagram person. And I'm using celebrities because those are people that most of us all, you know, may have seen. But we know people in our personal lives that are beautiful or whatever have you, that are, you know, again, and I say regular size because I don't know what other term to call people that are not plus size. So we see regular size women that get mistreated all the time. So it's not like you lose weight and then all of a sudden men are going to treat you right. That's not the case. So I just feel like you got to get out of that mindset of if only I was smaller. I can honestly say if only you were smaller, or when I was smaller, did I get more dates? Yeah, I got more, but it didn't change the way people treated me. Like, no, I got more dates. I will give you that. I will say that. When I was size 12, I got more dates. That's it. I got more dates. So I'll say that. I mean, that's literally the only difference. There are men that adore plus size women. There are men that enjoy plus size women. There are men that literally love plus size women. And it doesn't mean he's looking for somebody's couch to sleep on. If somebody wants to use you, they are going to use you no matter what you look like. They're going to use you, whether you're plus size, whether you're regular size, whether you light skin, whether you dark skin, whether you got freckles, whether you got edges or not. They are looking for somebody to use. It doesn't matter if you're plus size or not. If his agenda is to use somebody, if his agenda is to get somebody couch to lay on, it don't matter what he looking for somebody couch to lay on. If his agenda is ill intent, it doesn't matter what you look like. He's going to not treat that person right because that's just what's in him. So I don't want to ramble too long on that, but that's just my philosophy on plus size dating. Go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. If someone does not like you, it's not your job to change their mind. I appreciate your honesty and on to the next. Just know that there is someone out there who will love you for who you are. And also know that you're more than just your weight. Like, I think we place way too much emphasis on the fact that we're plus size. And it's like, yeah, and so what? You know? Your weight is a piece of who you are, but it's not all of who you are. So there's that. Alright, so I'm going to just do maybe like 3 more questions and go ahead and wrap this up because I don't want it to be too long. I feel like I've been talking a long time. Next question, she says, I love your confidence. Thank you. Oh, she says, I love your confidence series. Thank you. What podcasts or YouTube channels do you listen to about women and mothers, if any? So if I'm honest, I have not come across any YouTube channels about motherhood that I enjoy like that. Most of the YouTube channels or podcasts rather that I come across about motherhood, most so focused on motherhood to raising, like, you know, infants, toddlers, like 3 and under. You know, my daughter is 5 going on 6, so I feel like it doesn't meet me where I am currently. So I don't have any, unfortunately, in the motherhood space. You said as far as women and mothers, I do like listening to Michelle Daff. She has a YouTube channel and she also has a podcast. I can't think of the name of the podcast. I think it's about femininity or something. But I do like her channel. It's more focused on women and like femininity and stuff like that. Outside of that, most of the podcasts that I listen to are about either finance or business because I'm just I'm big on financial literacy. And yeah, so you guys know some of my favorite podcasts are the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast. I also like Supernaturally Paid. I also enjoy Blessed and Bossed Up, Supernaturally Paid. I like Moms Actually. I do like that podcast. It's about motherhood. Moms Actually. I do like Think Media podcast. It's about YouTubing. What other podcasts? I used to listen to Earn Your Leisure. But if I'm honest, their accents kind of like, I can only listen to so much at a time. And then lately, their stuff has been kind of going over my head. They talk about like finance and money and real estate and stocks and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, but I just started looking at Wall Street Trapper, I think is his name. I'll put a list of my favorite podcasts either here or in the description box. So I'm a podcast girl. There's quite a few. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. So yeah, I'll link them down below. All right, last few questions. This is a good one. What is something you always do to prepare for the new year? Vision boards, declutter, all of that kind of stuff. You know what? Honestly, I have never made an actual vision board. Like actually cut out stuff and put it on a board. I've never done that. And so I think I actually want to do that this year. So yeah, I've never made a vision board. I usually just like write out and list my my goals and just kind of go about it that way. But I think I actually want to create a vision board with like pictures and stuff this year. So but outside of that, what I normally do is just, like I said, write out my goals. I kind of assess what happened in the current year, think about what I want to do and focus on in the next year, and then I try to break it down by quarter so I don't get overwhelmed, because I feel like if I have too many goals, then I kind of get overwhelmed about the goals. So I just try to like do that and break them down. This is interesting. Somebody asked, would I take off my braces and get veneers after all this time, being that it's 1, 2, 3? Well, it's actually not 1, 2, 3 for me. I actually, before I got braces, I tried to get veneers either 5 or 6 different times, meaning I went to different locations, and every time I was denied because they said that my teeth were too crowded. So it's not 1, 2, 3 for me. I had to get braces first. And the reason that I did, because I always get asked like, why didn't I get Invisalign, which I just don't understand why people be more concerned about my teeth than I am. But I did not get Invisalign because at the time I was a full-time hairstylist, and with Invisalign you have to take them out every time you eat or snack and then brush your teeth and put them back in. Well, if you guys don't know, a lot of times as a hairstylist, you're eating on the go, you're kind of picking at stuff and all of that kind of stuff, and I just knew that I was not going to take these. First of all, I don't want to put my hands in my mouth to take the trays out after I've been shampooing and flat ironing hair and stuff. I could just see all kinds of hair in my mouth, first of all. Second, even if, let's say, I washed my hands and took them out, if I'm eating on the go, I would literally never put my trays back in until I left the shop. Then when I leave the shop, I'm finna go eat. Like, it just wasn't practical for my life at that time. Now, if I did choose to get braces while I was a content creator, I definitely would have done Invisalign, because it's just better like when I'm speaking and tripping over these braces while I'm in front of a camera. But at the time, I was not a full-time content creator. I was a full-time hairstylist. So it just was better for my lifestyle then. But yeah, so that's why. But yeah, Invisalign wasn't the simple answer for me. I'm sorry. Veneers were not a simple answer for me. I could not get them because I had too much crowding, and I was told that by literally 5 or 6 different dentists. So the last question I'm going to answer, it says, what are you most excited about for 2023, and what was your biggest moment, your happiest moment of 2022? Wow. My happiest moment was being debt free. That was a huge accomplishment. Being debt free. And then also, I'm just very proud of the growth the way that I've grown as a mother. Yeah, I talk about often how motherhood was just a journey for me, like a huge journey, and just like some of the hardships that I had with motherhood. And I'm just so proud of just the way that I've grown in motherhood, how I've adapted. And I'm just proud of myself as a mom. Like, I really be doing the daggone thing. You know what I'm saying? All the moms, give yourselves a pat on the back, because motherhood is it's a labor of love, definitely. And so but yeah, it's been a journey, and so I'm proud of my growth as a mother. And my biggest accomplishment and my happiest moment was honestly being debt free. That was a really big accomplishment this year. So what am I most excited about for 2023? Buying my house, buying my first house. Definitely. I cannot, my God, ooh, it's been a long time coming. I'm just going to cry profusely. Just know, okay? Also, I'm just excited to see what God's gonna do next year. Like, he's blown my mind this year, and I think next year will be no different. So I'm really just excited to see what God does. Yeah, that's all I got. All right, you guys, so if you made it to the end of this video, I sincerely appreciate you. I hope this is not too long, but I guess we gonna see, y'all. But if you made it to the end, then guess what? You have a chance to win a giveaway. So I purchased quite a few things for you guys to give away during the entire Vlogmas, but I honestly forgot to talk about it at the end of the video, so I'm talking about it today. We will have somewhere between 3 to 5 winners of the giveaway. I'm not exactly sure, but all you need to do to enter is, number 1, leave a comment down below and let me know your favorite part of today's video. And number 2, I need your Instagram name. Yes, girl, you do have to have Instagram to be entered into the giveaway. Why? Because there's so many scams going on right now, and I need to be able to DM you from my Instagram to ask for your mailing address. Of course, I don't want you to leave your mailing address down below. And yeah, I want you to know that it's from me, being that there are so many scams. Now, like I said again, you do need Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, I'm sorry. Maybe just create one for this or whatever the case may be. Also, make sure you check your DM. Make sure you check your DM. I will message the giveaway winners. You guys should see this on Monday. I will do the giveaway on Wednesday, which will be December, I want to say the 13th. Yes, December 13th, I will message all of the giveaway winners on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, my Instagram is at @nitadanielle. It will come from my Instagram. It will not be from someone else. And all I will need is your shipping address to send your thing. I will not be on Telegram. You will not have to send me any money. Okay, so again, if you want to be entered for the giveaway, leave a comment down below and let me know your favorite part of today's video and your Instagram handle so that I can DM you. And again, I will DM you guys on Wednesday, December 16th to let you know that you won, and I will need your shipping address to send you your gift. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's little chit chat, Q&A, laid back, chill situation, girl. Again, I hope it wasn't too long, but I sincerely appreciate you guys for sticking around. If you haven't already, make sure you're following me on Instagram at @nitadanielle, TikTok and Pinterest is nitadanielle, and the blog is nitadanielle.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you more than you know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.